Hello everyone, once again we're back. This is Aluminum Tarot. We're going to go ahead and do a reading today for the sign of Gemini, Sun, Moon and Ascendant. Guess we're going to go through the order of today. If you like what you see in this reading, please give a like, share, subscribe, ding the notification bell so that you don't miss any of the updates. If you'd also like a personal reading, please reach out at the website included in the description box below. And also be mindful of scammers around on the internet. I'm not going to ever reach out to you for any readings, especially not through WhatsApp or Telegram. If you ever come across any of these types of people, please block, delete, and report these people so that way they don't show back up in the feeds and that we can do our civic duty to keep these people at bay. Anyways, we're going to go ahead and kick it off today. Reading for the sign of Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Ascendant. Starting off with the Kipper decks here, these little guys. And we're going to go ahead and do the reading. So, let's start. Can you show us any messages for Kipper deck? Show us some messages from the Kips. What messages have you got for us from the Kipper deck? Start there. Okay, here we go. First message to come out from Kipper. Success in love. Meetings. One more. And gloomy thoughts. So I think another sign just recently got this gloomy thoughts ones. I thought it was the Libra, but I'll have to go back and look at that just to make sure. So anyways, we're going to start with the first message here. That was the success in love. And of course, you see two people who are deeply in love, surrounded by the waters being the waters of life, as well as the waters of intense emotional connections. Additionally, they seem to be sheltered from the sun, so that means they want to really have a nice kind of high society type of meeting with each other. And generally speaking, this can look to, something either that you want or something that you have, success in love. And additionally, swans in the back indicate some kind of, symbol of grace, because you can see actually that swans here, when they're on top of the water, they typically look like they're at peace, they're not moving, but underneath them, their legs are kicking very, very quickly. So that way they can propel themselves across the lake or the river. So it shows that everything that's happening at the surface is usually, there's a lot more happening underneath. And I guess that's the deep waters that you see here in this card. Meetings, we also look at this. This is, of course, where everything began. And these two people look like they're hunting or just going through the park for a little bit. They also seem to be a very high society, so maybe this couple here in this Gemini reading was of high society or high class. And of course you have the Dalmatian. Dalmatian is a Croatian dog, actually. I found that it's from the islands of Dalmatia, indicated by the spots here, as well as their origins. They were guard dogs. And they were normally kept by people who were upper class as well. So this indicates a little bit like 1111 energy here, because you have the number 4, firstly. Then you have the trees, two large ones on each side, which also indicates kind of portal or a gateway that allows people to go to the next phase or the next step in their lives. The horses are, of course, being something that carries a specific message to someone, or something that embodies that particular quality. So you hear about the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse, and each horse represents something specific, like pestilence or death or so on. So the horses indicate movement of a particular conceptualized idea. So that said, we're going to gloomy thoughts. We have a person standing at the precipice of a large cliff. We have a seal at the bottom here, looking, probably telling them don't do it. And yeah, we won't go too much into that because that would indicate some strikes on YouTube, but you get the message here. So this person who's lost in thought, looking at the sea, yeah, things like that can happen. We all go through our problems. So I'm just going to leave it there. You have the number 33. 3 plus 3 is 6. And that is the indication of harmony and balance. So that could be 6 of Swords, moving to a better place. Or it can indicate like 6 of Wands, victory, moving into victory. 6 of Cups, thinking about something specific with a very nostalgic feeling. Or the, what's the other one? 6 of Pentacles, which is giving and receiving, monetary assets, time, any kind of value. So when I read the three of these together, basically what I get is the success in love, meetings, gloomy thoughts. This could be a person who's met someone, now they're pining over this person, either because of a loss, because we go from 2 to 2 to 1 person. And so maybe towards the end of it, you may have lost the person that you really cared deeply about. You think also about the meetings that you had with them, and now it's kind of like you're basically going solo in your life. And this has kind of left you at a bit of a pause. You're now thinking about all the things, probably sometimes either with regret or with longing, with limerence, any of these types of feelings. And as, of course, expected, if you have lost someone. So let's go ahead and read into the tarot. We're going to go ahead and begin. So reading with the... got the Hierophant at the bottom. Interesting. I'm going to read with the Steampunk Tarot. Just going to go ahead and do that for today. For the last air sign of the day. Tell us what is happening in Gemini's life for the month of June 2023. Oof. What is happening in Gemini's life for the month of June 2023. Ugh. Rough shuffle there. What is happening in Gemini's life for the month of June 2023. What is happening in the Gem's life June 2023. Give that one more shuffle. Okay, so current energy, and of course flies out. 1 second. There we go. 4 of Cups. Now, what's the challenge? King of Cups. What happened in the recent past? My cards are not playing nice. Okay, so seems to me I just kind of want to put this deck away. Or maybe I'll just be stubborn and go ahead and push through. Start that again. Recent past. Okay, there we go. Yeah, future. Okay, it's at the root of the reading. What is at the crown of the reading? How does Gemini see themselves? For vengeance? What's in Gemini's environment? For Gemini's hopes and fears. 5 of Cups. And the outcome. Two of Swords. Clarify that. Okay. So, bottom of the deck we have the Page of Swords reversed. So this is someone, we got that feeling of longing in the last, the Kipper deck spread. So what we have here is, here we go, the person who is kind of longing and pining for someone else, especially intellectually. They are spying, or they are basically looking at someone from afar, maybe for some specific reason to gather intelligence or data about this person. Could be looking at them on Facebook, could be looking at them on Instagram, longing over them and reminiscing about things in the past. We're going to see why, because what we do see here in the deck is we see that this is the 4 of Cups, and this is crossed by the King of Cups. So this is a person who is definitely in their emotions. They are unable to really process the rejection that they felt from a person that they care deeply about, who seemed to be the one. I don't know why, I do know why I feel like saying that, but they seem to be the one. And, now what they're struggling to do is to gain composure over their emotions, because that's precisely what the King of Cups does. They are able to have strong controls over their emotions. They're able to weather the storm no matter how difficult things are. And if it's in the challenge position, this is a person who is feeling deep feelings of rejection and regret. So what we get here, starting off in the recent past, we have the 8 of Wands, and we're going to find out exactly why that is. So what happened with the 8 of Wands? So we have the Page of Cups and the Ace of Cups. That's interesting. There's a lot of love in the past. I don't know exactly what happened. So it seemed like things were going quite well. There was an offering of love. There was a communication of love. There was a flirt. And there was swift movement in the recent past. So this seems to me like a very powerful dynamic relationship that started very quickly, but it feels like it's ended very quickly as well. Because what we have here is the 7 of Pentacles in the near future. And the 7 of Pentacles, let's find out why this person is thinking about this. So we have the Ace. We've got the Ace of Wands and then the Page of Pentacles. So I think there's a person here who's debating on whether or not they should continue with a kind of friends with benefit situation, or have a new start in the relationship, or just remain friends. That's what I'm getting from these two cards. It seems like a decision. This person is weighing that option, those decisions, with the 7 of Pentacles, thinking about what they have sown in the past. Typically, the 7 of Pentacles comes after the 6 of Pentacles, after you've given to something, and then the 7 of Pentacles follows that to find out what is paid off in that specific investment. So looking at the recent past, you had something that came in. It was very strong, lots of love, very passionate. Could have been a fling, because I don't see anything indicating long-term relationships. But what I see here in the near future is someone who is debating about whether or not they want to continue the passion, or if they just want to remain friends. And I think that the reason why this is because perhaps the love that was in this relationship has basically cooled off into something a bit more pragmatic. And when I mean pragmatic is, what do I get out of this? I want something practical. That could be pretty much a sex-based relationship or just a friendship. With the two of these combined, it does kind of show a friends with benefits. Page of Pentacles with the Ace of Wands. So that's the message I'm getting here. Now, at the root of all of this, you have the Ace of Wands, and I'm going to see exactly why that is. What did you learn? What did Gemini learn about this relationship? Okay. So, Gemini, it looks like you are healing something here. You have the Comet, which is the star in this particular deck. And the star indicates finding hope and healing after the Tower, which you probably had a Tower moment not too long ago. Probably related to the love here. And it could have involved in Aquarius, if I'm not mistaken. That Aquarius could be sun, moon, or rising. And with this, what you're doing now is you're doing your best to learn something and to gain enlightenment about a specific situation and then heal from it shortly after that. You have the Three of Cups at the crown of the spread, which indicates what you consciously know. And so what that says to me is that you realize that you were put in a third-party relationship or that you want to reunite with this person. Take it as it resonates. Hopefully you can't have the two of them together, because why would you want to reunite with someone that put you in a third party? Let's find out. What about the Three of Cups? Yeah. This is exactly what I'm feeling here. So clarifying the Three of Cups, you have the Nine of Cups reverse and this is called the Triumph here, but this is the Chariot in reverse. This indicates to me someone who not only feels a bit of emotional codependency, but is also feeling stuck. So I'm looking at this situation, and yes, this is a third-party relationship that they were put in, or they deeply want to reunite with this person. And the reason why they want to reunite with this, I think the Gemini I'm speaking to here, is dealing with a lot of emotional codependency. And because of this, they feel they need this person in their life. And of course, on this particular channel, I don't really play that. You never should need anyone. You should be able to fill your own cups. That should be the Nine of Cups in the upright, where you are fulfilling your own wish fulfillment and being able to carry on your life with a deep sense of personal satisfaction without others. The Chariot reverse, it feels like things are not moving forward. You're feeling stuck in life, perhaps stuck on this situation. And this is, of course, going to block and hinder everything else in your life, which is something that you might want to go back and reflect on with this Comet card to allow yourself to heal and move forward. Move that Triumph into the upright. Moving right along, you have the Five of Wands as you see yourself. Five of Wands reverse. You just want to come out of the conflict. I think you do long for this person, and you just want to come out of the conflict that triggered the separation of someone that you felt very passionate about in the past. Someone that probably offered something to you and then rescinded that immediately afterwards. So I'm hoping that this doesn't indicate a person who's a game player. We're going to find out a bit more. Why is Gemini the Five of Wands reversed? Okay, not this way. So you have the Ace of Pentacles reverse. This indicates to me that you just want to come out of the conflict and offer something solid and stable to this person. And when you have the Ace of Pentacles, oftentimes this indicates that it's an offering of like a new job. It's an offering of something steady and stable, a new house, new car, something like that. Some tangible asset, something with a lot of value to it. And unfortunately in this, what I'm getting here is you want to come out of the conflict and offer your value to this person. But what I would question, if that's how you see yourself, offering your value to this person, why do you feel the need to concede your value to a person who is going to leave you in this type of energy? If you feel codependent, you feel that you need this person, you feel that your life is stuck because you do not have this person, and that you would offer them basically anything just to get them back. Think about what that says about your worth. Is that giving you the value that you are, that you deserve? Or are you giving that value away to someone that does not deserve it? Now, these are deep questions that you should ask yourself if you're going to get in this type of relationship, because that is a codependency relationship, which is indicated here by the 9 of Cups reversed in the previous part of the spread. Something that you need to be mindful of, which you pretty much are mindful of. It's not really internalizing. You're not really actually seeing why that is so. Now, moving on, in the environment, what you have here is the High Priestess reversed. And then you have the 7 of Wands reversed. So there's a person who's given up the fight. The person that you're dealing with potentially has given up the fight, and they're blocking out their intuition about this particular situation. They're basically saying, no, I'm not going to deal with this. No, moving on. Who's the next person to be the idiot or the fool, or the, the next person to be the next victim, however you want to see it. Of course, I'm not calling you an idiot, but I'm just saying if I had to see it from this person's point of view, that's what I would say. Now, they're obviously not fighting for you. They've given up. They got what they want. Now they're moving on. They're blocking out their intuition, probably their guilty conscience. And in essence, what I do see is a person who is probably a bit narcissistic. I hate to use that word, but it's a game player through and through. We can look at some of the signs that we've got here to find out what kind of person you could be dealing with. That came out. So I clarified the 5 of Cups with the 3 of Swords. And I'm not going to take all those cards. So your biggest fear, your biggest hope and fear is this. You got the 5 of Cups and the 3 of Swords. So you go from the 5 of Cups as disappointment and regret, the 3 of Swords, which is heartbreak. Now, these two cards coming out at the same time indicate strong heartbreak over the loss of this relationship. And I think it's time that you process that pain so that way you can move forward in your life. Because holding on to this will keep you stuck for as long as you're breathing. It can keep you stuck for lifetimes. And when we don't process the pain that we've gone through, what happens is that we typically take this over into the next lifetime, and we have to deal with it with another kind of karmic debt. And the universe is very patient. It's got eternity to wait to see if we make the progress that we need to. Otherwise, we'll deal with this on as many planets, as many lifetimes as needed to learn the lesson. That said, if this is your fear, then you're going to manifest it if you don't deal with it head on. Even with the Chariot here, I could even say that this is potentially conscious lack of movement towards healing and a refusal to move past the relationship because you do have this pain and heartbreak. So what is advised of you to do is to start taking the necessary steps to heal from the part. The first being acceptance. I accept what happened. I cannot change it, so let's move forward. And then after that, processing the emotions, feeling what you feel, because it's important for you to understand your perspective at the emotional level of this relationship, so that way you can move on to the last stage, which is, letting go. Thank you. I learned this lesson and it's time for me to move forward. Again, this is something that Rich Locke teaches quite a bit in his tarot readings. And you should definitely go over to his channel to learn more about that. Excuse me. I have a very, very sore throat at the moment. Last but not least, we have the Two of Airships, Two of Swords. Sorry about that. We have the Two of Swords and we have the Magician here. So, as your final outcome, should you stay on the path that you're on now, you will basically... You could remain in indecision for quite some time, because I'm looking at, in this card for the Magician, the Technomancer here. And you can see that they have a blindfold on, or their eyes are blacked out. And what this indicates to me is kind of person who's could be manifesting potentially more of that stuck energy in the mental space. Ironically, for the Technomancer here, this is a Gemini card, if I'm not mistaken, because it's either Virgo or Gemini as the Magician. Very mercurial energy there. So what you are advised to do is to make sure that you can take off the blindfold. And in doing so, I think that you'll be able to... what I'm getting from this... It's coming to me, give me a minute. Yeah. If you continue on this path, I see you manifesting an eternity of indecision. Kind of like a neither world. Not being able to move forward, not being able to process what happened backwards. But a person that remains stuck, blind to the rest of the world. And that is manifesting their material world as it happens. And what you really, really want to do is to move past that. You want to actually take that blindfold off and look at the pain square in the eyes. So that way you understand exactly how to move beyond it. We have here Deus Machina, Deus Machina, which means God is in the machine. And essentially, what you really, really want to think about is what is it that you're empowering in your life? Are you empowering your life with things that will actually help you to feel happy again? Or will you empower yourself with blindness? I think by choosing blindness, what you'll do is that you'll never be able to see what you have right in front of you, which is the love that you've always been looking for. When we tend to look at love as coming from people around us, places around us, things around us, we become codependent on those people. And essentially what that does is that strips us of our own personal power and allows for externalities to take over. And then, of course, when that externality does not allow us to feel the happiness that we think we deserve, then we'll do a few things. We'll actually start blaming the other person for our lack of happiness. We'll start saying, oh, well, maybe if I move to another thing or another person, place, or thing, then maybe that will make me happy too. So you're constantly cycling through relationships, sexual partners. You start constantly cycling through, places to move to. You get like the travel bug where you never settle or stay still, which for some people that works. Or you may cycle through, life of materialism, and that's when you start to get into that devil energy. And that's not what we really want you to do, because that restricts you. Instead of empowering you and freeing you, it actually restricts you through the vice of that particular object. It becomes a fetish, and you obsess over that fetish. So in your reading, it's understandable that you've been hurt. It is understandable that you feel rejected, and that this offer of love that you had in the past is no longer available. And you're now mulling over what you should do next. But when we stay in that period for a bit too long, what happens is that We never really make any progress. We don't feel happy. We don't feel sad. We feel nothing. And that takes me back to that person over at the cliff, the gloomy thoughts, and it's now materialized in the reading that we've just done. How long will you stay in your thoughts? As a beautiful Gemini who represents the thoughts. Your card came out in the outcome, but what we want you to do is to materialize the proper outcome of taking off that blindfold and living your best life. Because without doing that, you will never know love until you find it within. Thank you so much again. This has been Aluminum Tarot. Apologies for the throat. Of course, it's flu season. So it is the season, as I've told people. And if you like what you see here, please give a like, share, subscribe. Please ding the notification bell. And also, please feel free to reach out to me for a personal reading. Thanks so much for joining today, and I hope you had a great one. And I hope this message resonated with you. Thanks so much. Until next time, love and light.